Hello guys and welcome to this video. The last video was 7 days ago, so I think it's time for a short update. The idea was that we see a Bitcoin all-time high soon. So let's see what happens since then. Let's check out the charts for a quick update and what we can expect for the next weeks. Before I jump to the charts, I quickly wanted to tell you I'm also on X or Twitter. So if you want to follow me there, it's profit_cycles. And there I share my thoughts, and yeah, I can post more frequently there than on YouTube. So if you want to follow me there and discuss some things we see, then feel free to do it. Alright, so let's see what happened. So in the last video, we talked about the 786 level for Bitcoin. That is an important level. We were around the level here. And the idea was we should see a breakout above this level, and then we likely get some new all-time highs for Bitcoin. What we've seen also in the past, what I mentioned in the last video, is Bitcoin likes to do these fake outs with one day breaking out of a resistance line and then the next day going back down again. It happened 2 times after the video, I think, here and here again, so keep that in mind. Bitcoin really likes to do this, but in the end we found support on this resistance line, so we broke out, found support here. Then we had a strong move upwards above the 786 level and are now in all-time highs. So really happy with the last video. As we thought, if we break out the 786, then we expect new all-time highs. We are currently at new all-time highs at around 113,000. So congrats to everyone that's holding Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Everyone is in profit right now. Alright, so as we broke out now, we can remove this retracement tool because the move is finished. And now we can use another Fibonacci tool if we find a high to then get the high here, and then we see support levels. So just keep that in mind. Generally, it's looking really strong. I think this was the chart for the thumbnail from the last video. I think I had it somewhere here. Around this time we consolidated a little bit longer than expected. So I think that was the chart, the thumbnail. We are breaking out now. So I just pulled the fractal here. It's from a few months ago. So yeah, let's see if we can get a move like this. Would not be surprising to me to see a really strong breakout move, because I think there's a lot of people that didn't get into positions, that were doubting this rally, thinking we break down or consolidate more. So I think this is catching a lot of people off guard, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a really strong move to the upside. So yeah, let's see what happens. Also with the cycle lows, we still have a lot of time till the next cycle. So if we go with this cycle count, the original one, then we just had a half cycle low, and until the next cycle low we still have time until the start of August. But also what I mentioned before is we could have an inversion, so an inverted cycle with this lower low here. So what I did is I put white arrows now here for the possibility that this is the next new cycle. So just keep that in mind. Then we see how it plays out, and depending on where the low forms, we can confirm or deny which one is the correct count. But yeah, so far looking really great, breakout, and yeah, would not surprise me if we get some really nice action to the upside. The next cycle lows are still sometime in the future. One important thing to check is the Bitcoin dominance, of course. On Twitter, I see a lot of people that are calling for the altcoin season since years. So it's a meme at this point. All the way up, with each small move to the downside in Bitcoin dominance, everyone is calling for altcoin season, which is quite funny because we have a really strong uptrend in Bitcoin dominance. So what you want to see is breakdowns. So if you really want to call the start of the alt season, you see you need some confirmation. And currently we're just moving into the cycle low time frame. So cycle low should be around the 13th of July. We are in the window right now. So the small move to the downside in Bitcoin dominance is nothing surprising. We also talked about this yellow line, the 786 of the macro level. If you want to see an altcoin season, you really want to see it turn down from here, reject from here, go to the downside. We really don't want to see a breakout above this, because if we break out weeklies and strong closes above the 786, that means we likely see new highs. And new highs in this regard means new highs of this macro move. So if we break the 786, that makes a really high possibility to get over 74% Bitcoin dominance. So yeah, if you have a lot of altcoins, then you want to see a breakdown. Two things should happen. So if you can draw these cycle lows on the chart, what you want to see is we find a cycle low, confirm it with a few days of upside, and then you want to see a break, a failed daily cycle of this Bitcoin dominance. So a cycle low now in the next few days, and then failing this cycle low to the downside is the first step we need to see to confirm a lower next future daily cycle. And also what you want to see is a breakdown of support lines. So this is the monthly support line, this is the weekly, so a monthly close below this line or a weekly close below this line would be a breakdown, together with a breakdown of the cycle would be really the first confirmation signs for actually the start of the altcoin season. But until both of these things happen, failed daily cycle and also failed support, it's just too early to call for altcoin season. So keep that in mind. What you want to see is breakdowns if you hold altcoins. What you don't want to see is breaking to the upside. So yeah, we will check this chart in every video from now on and see if we can see an altcoin season or not. Yeah, but generally, because of also of the move in Bitcoin to new all-time highs and weak short-term dominance, the altcoins are looking really nice. As we talked about last time, XRP looked great. We had a cycle low here. I also talked about this might be a really nice area to get some long positions in XRP if you don't have XRP positions, because we were breaking out of this long-term resistance line. Breakout, retest, resumption to the upside. Really nice trade setup with some stop losses below here. Nice risk reward. And generally, with Bitcoin moving to all-time highs and the stock market, we should also see XRP moving a lot higher to new all-time highs soon. So chart looking really, really great. The next low should be around the start of August. Then for curve, for CRV, also looking good so far. We retraced this move to the upside all the way to the 786, but the 786 held, so that's important. Had a cycle low around here, and then now seeing a really strong move to the upside. We tagged this liquidity zone, the yellow one, also this one, so I can remove this one. And I'm moving to the upside, so looking great. The next low should also be around start of August, so most coins should see another low at this time frame. But yeah, so far it held the 786, moves to the upside, looking great. Longer term picture, we really want to see some breakouts here. Let me adjust this resistance line, so here. But yeah, looking decent so far. What we also looked at is the CRV Bitcoin ratio. So what we talked about is here this higher term liquidity zone. So if we go back down here for CRV Bitcoin, that would be a really nice buying opportunity. But so far this monthly support is holding, so it could also be that we just hold this strong support here and break out from here. So keep that in mind, be open to it. We could also have seen the low already in Bitcoin, CRV Bitcoin, and go up from here, but would also not be surprising if we backtest this liquidity zone, and then after we went in here, we see a real breakout. Alright, so far for CRV. Now for Litecoin, I mentioned it in the last video also. I was really interested in Litecoin because it looks a lot like XRP before the breakout. So if you look at the structure, you have two strong moves to the upside and then grinding, a lot of grinding, slowly getting higher highs, as you see, higher lows, sorry, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And yeah, compressing price action, and if you check the XRP chart before the strong move to the upside, it looks a lot like Litecoin at the moment. So you see the two strong moves to the upside, consolidation, compressing, and higher lows. And yeah, I really like the chart, and that's why I started a small new long position in Litecoin with this breakout here above this line. So that's just personally for me. I think it's a really nice risk reward. We could see some great moves to the highs of the range. So yeah, I personally like it. It's not financial advice, just my opinion. Good risk reward with a stop loss. And yeah, I think we can see some nice moves to the upside in Litecoin. So let's see what happens if it goes to the upside or if it takes the stop loss. Alright, so far for the cryptos and Bitcoin. Small checkup for the stock market, nothing surprising. We had the new all-time high, I think, last video already. Moving to the upside, just keep the next cycle low in mind. Should be around the 23rd of July. Marked it here. So maybe we see a bit more upside and then some downside. Maybe we even fill this gap here. So it wouldn't be surprising to see some moves to the downside in this area. So don't be surprised if we see a bit of downside and then a next cycle should form. So it looks great, looks healthy and strong. The Vix, on the other hand, of course, is doing the opposite, grinding down with SPY going to all-time highs. So the idea still stands that we hope to get some really low Vix numbers for a nice hedge and trade if the markets are topping, just as we said. So just as expected, grinding down. Yeah. Then for GME, we are currently in the 100-day cycle time frame. So I believe this here could be the 100-day cycle low. We already had the 45-day cycle low, and as we talked in the last video, it looks like GameStop is now ranging between these two prices. So with the cycles and also with this support line, looks like we can have some upside back here, but maybe they also do an offering back if we reach these prices and it continues like this. But so far, also with the 10 billion in cash and Bitcoin holdings, there isn't that much lower it can go, basically, because most of the market cap is in cash already. Also this white line, sorry for the many lines, is this support line. So from the all-time low to this trend change and here, so this should be strong support also, and I think we should at least fill this gap here. Alright, finally let's check out gold. Since the last daily cycle low, it didn't move that much. It's a bit weak, a bit heavy, as you can see. So maybe it just needs more time to consolidate. If you zoom out, it had a really big move to the upside, so it's not surprising if it consolidates more. It even, so keep that level in mind. If we break it to the downside, then we get a lower cycle low, so that's also a possibility that we maybe have a lower low, consolidate more, but in the bigger picture it's nothing to worry about. So either we see some strong moves pretty soon or it might need to consolidate more, but bigger picture it's nothing to worry about, looks great. And finally silver, similar, it's a bit stronger than gold but also didn't get new highs so far. The next low should be around start of August, end of July, and yeah, maybe it also needs to consolidate a bit, but so far looking really strong and healthy. Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. Would be interested to hear your thoughts on what's going on with Bitcoin. Do you think we see a really strong move to the upside, more consolidation now, backtest of the all-time high? And yeah, hope you have a great week and you hear from me next week or in a few days. Take care. Bye bye.